Hello everyone, my name is Sidonia Amado and I'm joining you today to speak about the next upcoming full moon in Sagittarius that will be happening on the 23rd of May. Full moons are the time of the month in which we have the opportunity to check with ourselves if whatever we are putting outside, if the way we are going about our day, we are consuming information, we are acquiring information, we are behaving, we are sharing, the things we are pursuing, if they are still in alignment with who we are on the inside, with our values, with our emotions. And we as human beings, we are always evolving, we're always shifting, we're always learning. So it is very important that we have this opportunity to reconnect with ourselves so that we can align our behavior and our attitude and the things we are choosing out there with what we are learning and evolving about inside. And this full moon, being the sign of Sagittarius, will be focusing on Sagittarius themes. And Sagittarius, it's all about our beliefs. And in its highest form, it's our higher knowledge. Is that knowledge that comes directly from the gods? Is the higher wisdom? Is the higher perspective? Is the ability to be able to see everything all at once? Sagittarius is also the sign that is connected with freedom, with having the freedom and the detachment to pursue and to learn and to grow and to get to know different cultures, different races, different ideologies, different beliefs. And it is a sign in its high expression that is one of the most tolerant signs, in the sense that Sagittarius can go anywhere in the world and still feel at home. So Sagittarius is a sign that in its higher expression feels at home no matter where it is. However, as this is in a position, we have the moon opposing the sun. It always brings out first not the highest, more aligned values, but unfortunately it brings out first the most negative aspects of the sign. And what are the most negative aspects of Sagittarius? The most negative aspects of Sagittarius is the fanatic belief. Is that belief that has no grounding in reality. We just believe in something because somebody told us that this is this way, and we just believe it out of some kind of cultural or ideological allegiance without asking any questions, without using our own mind to perceive if that belief is wrong or right. And in the other side of Sagittarius, opposing, where you have the sun, we have the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is all about asking questions. Gemini is all about having that exchange of information. Gemini is the communicator, is the person that will go to the bottom to investigate about some concept, about some belief in some notion. However, unfortunately, as this is an opposition, it may also initially bring out the negative side of Gemini. And what is the negative side of Gemini? The negative side of Gemini is consuming information just for the sake of consuming. Yeah, it's like those people that are on the internet just scrolling down video after video, without any kind of discrimination, without any kind of standards. They just listening to everything, seeing everything, they following every spiritual leader, they following every astrologer, without discriminating, without setting a standard for themselves, without checking if whatever they are hearing or receiving makes sense and it's in alignment with their own core values. I can give myself as an example. I have followed for a long time a YouTuber just because of social clues. It was a person that was being recommended. It was a person who seemed to be well in life, who presented themselves well, who were very physically attractive, who had lots of followers, lots of likes, lots of social proof. And in my head, of course, I followed those clues for the sign that this person has something of value to offer me, to say to me, I can learn with this person. And video after video, I end up being disappointed because whatever the message that was being shared, it didn't make any sense to me. It was not in alignment with my values. It was actually, in my perspective, emotionally and ideologically damaging, even to follow those things that person was teaching people. However, I kept on coming back video after video. I kept on following that person because of my conditioning to believe that if somebody has lots of social approval, lots of likes, lots of followers, and they look like they're doing well in life and they are attractive, then that means that whatever they're saying is of value. Well, that was my adventure. So in Gemini, you may have this dark side that is just consuming information without discriminating, and Sagittarius is the fanatism, is the believing something just because somebody said it's true, because somebody, especially out there in our society, said that this is the valuable thing, this is what is to follow. This full moon will also be opposing Venus, that will be conjuncting Jupiter. They will be together, and this will automatically bring attention to our values, to the things we love, to our relationships. So this type of concepts will also come to the storefront for us to analyze, and we also will be reevaluating where we have those fanatic beliefs without question, where we are being fooled, where we are being brainwashed, where we are allowing ourselves to be sold a story that is not necessarily true or doesn't align with ourselves. For example, when it comes to things we love and we value, I can give other examples of myself. At my 30s, and I'm now 38, but when I got my 30 years old, I started having the first wrinkles. And my first instinct is to go to a store to buy a cream that were considered the best by the big companies. They had a lot of advertisement about the product, and I'm not going to say what name of product. I'll leave names and brands out of this. So I bought that product. It was kind of a good value. It was expensive. It was considered a good cream, anti-wrinkle cream, very recommended out there, and I start using it. After a few days, I noticed that my wrinkles started getting deeper. My skin had deteriorated, it was dry, wrinkles started to get more pronounced, but I ignored the signs. I kept on using that product because, wow, so much advertisement, so much people recommending it, and it's such a famous brand, so this must be the thing, this is good, I just need to keep on using it, and my skin will adapt and start giving me the good signs and good results. And after a month using that, my skin was older 10 years from where I started, and I finally had to pull out the pink color glasses out of my face and realize that I was actually poisoning my skin. So I had to stop using that product. But however, just because of the social conditioning that I had of listening to these recommendations of big brands, of advertisements, or because everybody likes this product, so I consider that this should be good for me. And it's not even about the product being bad. Is it good for my specific skin? Did I consider that? No, I was just listening to the programming of the social voice saying that this is the best thing ever. No, as this example, I can give other examples. For example, supplements. Once I was prescribed by a doctor a supplement that was considered to be harmless, really good for my health, and I started taking that supplement, and after a few days I started having dimples everywhere and rashes everywhere and being very nauseous, and I actually vomited after a few days. But I continue forcing myself taking that supplement because the doctor said this is a good supplement that is harmless and this is the best in the market, and also there was a lot of social proof about that supplement. So I took it for a long time, and although it was poisoning my body, I ended up having a lot of digestive problems because of that. Because I didn't listen to my body saying to me, I'm being poisoned. And this is just some of my examples of experience I had in which the social programming in terms of our capitalistic society has completely override my internal wisdom and guidance. I ignored the signs of my body asking for help. I ignored the signs of my energy saying no, this is not in alignment, and I kept on consuming those things that were harming me just because it is socially said that this is the good thing. It's good, it's harmless, it's good for you. And there are many things in society that we consume that are poisoning us. Not just in terms of products, but also in terms of information, things that are poisoning us, but we ignore that and we keep on taking that and harming ourselves instead of aligning with ourselves and listen, okay, doesn't matter if everybody likes this, doesn't matter if people consider this is good for me, is this good for me? Is my body, is my energy liking this? Is my ideology, my values aligned with this? No? And continuing this theme, Venus is about relationships. Many issues in relationships can be talked about because we have the Sagittarius opposition, and Sagittarius is about different cultures, about different races, about traveling. And when we have this opposing the planet of relationships conjunct Jupiter, automatically there are brought up relationship issues around our ideologies in terms of what we believe about other cultures, what we believe about other races, what are the ideologies that we have in our society in terms of how we relate, that may be not based on the actual truth, but in preconceived beliefs that we have about certain people, about certain groups. Do you sit with yourself and think that there may be some beliefs that you may have about certain cultures, groups, or races that stops you from actually seeing those people and actually having a one-to-one leveled up and equal communication to them in a sense that you can actually meet these people in the same level? And I'm not going to go deeper into races and cultures because I think it's a sensitive issue. However, for example, there's an issue that is much more evident in our society, which is differences between men and women. The fact that even with so many years of evolution, we men and women, we are still do not treat each other and we do not communicate with each other as equals. For example, men are conditioned and raised to believe somehow with that social programming that they somehow in many things are superior to women. So therefore, they have more tendency in not treating a woman as an equal, in not being able to communicate as an equal with a woman, with not being able to show so much respect to a woman as they would show to their counterparts, a man. Or a woman who many times has been conditioned for believing that she is inferior to men in many things, so she is supposed to submit more, tolerate abuse, not stand up for herself, accept lower wages, accept lower positions, not complain, especially when she's in the same work setting or is competing for the same things as a man. And this is especially important because we're going to have soon the Charon and Mars conjunction, which will strongly bring out the imbalances between the feminine and the masculine wounding and the feminine wounding towards the masculine. The themes will be strongly brought up during this conjunction, which will happen just a few days after the full moon, and it will stay with us until the end of May. So it's very intense, very karmic energy. It will bring out your original wounds around masculinity, about the masculine. In terms of men, I can give some examples on how, in my opinion, most of men in our society are inherently wounded and they do not know themselves. They do not know how to be a man, and they do not know what role to play anymore in today's modern society, because men have always been associated through history with a particular type of behavior or a role that they used to play, and the women with another role. The men were the protector, the provider, and the woman was the person who would nurture the man, take care of him, and be at home, making sure that when he when he's around her, that everything is provided, everything is taken care of. So somehow the woman represented for men through history, the caregiver, the mother. The woman never would stop being the mother of the man. The man had his mother, and then he would marry another mother, another woman who would be there sacrificing, caring, nurturing, giving him everything. So but the women in today's modern society, they do not want to do that anymore. Women want to pursue their own interests, or they just want a partner who can nurture them back. And many men, they are stuck into that masculinity, toxic masculinity role, in which they are not able to express nurture, to give care that the woman also needs. And since there is no sense that the woman stays to the man, because now she is also the provider, the go-getter, she also has the Martian energy to go and get her things and get what she needs, there's no reason for the woman to actually entertain many of relationships with men, especially when the man is not able to care back and give her the nurture back that she needs. And the many men are stuck into that role that they have played through ages, and they feel resentment towards the feminine because they expect the woman to still be the person who provides that nurturing care, and the woman is not really that much available to play this role anymore. So there's this wounding, this resentment from the masculine towards the woman, not just because that they have to compete with a group in society which they consider many times to be inferior to them, and also because this woman is not playing the role that she in their mind is supposed to play. She's not giving me the nurture, she's not abdicating of herself, of her needs, in order to provide for me. She's not all around me giving me all the care and attention that I think like a man I should receive from a woman. So there is this resentment, and when there's resentment, there is passive aggression, there is aggression even, there is abuse, there is sexual abuse, and it's not a surprise that we are experiencing in society a raise in terms of violence against women and even abuse against women. It's really growing, and I do advise women to be careful, especially during this Mars and Chiron conjunction, because it may strongly bring out these wounds from the masculine, and it is possible that we will see a lot more raise in situations of abuse against women during this time. From the woman's side, the woman itself, most of women have at least one time in their life, or even more than one, being sexually or physically abused by a man. So what Chiron will mostly bring out in the feminine is those wounds related to the masculine in terms of being abused or being harmed by a man. And maybe, hopefully, it will not be through some triggering event of some sort, but I always advise women, please take care of yourself, be careful during that time, because it's definitely that time in which the female needs to be the feminine, the women, we need to protect ourselves, because karmically we may attract these situations to ourselves if we have these wounds, and karmically men may have these wounds awakening them as well, the wounds of the masculine. However, speaking more about the Chiron and Mars conjunction is not just about woundings and masculine, feminine, and sexuality. Chiron, Mars is also our ability to survive. It's our ability to assert ourselves. It's our ability to go after what we want. And this Chiron and Mars conjunction will be showing you where you have wounds in terms of your ability to survive and go after what you want. Where are you wounded in these areas of your life? So during this time, during this conjunction, you may feel like a little bit discouraged, not so confident, or even afraid or somehow limited in terms of your action, because this wound will be awakened. Or on the other side, you may feel like you are more triggery. You may get triggered easily and react with a lot of aggression if you are provoked in any way. So my advice is, try to find some sort of way to escape and express your anger in a healthy way, and start it now while the conjunction is still not on. Plan for it, plan some routine, some exercise, some kickboxing classes, make sure that you express yourself from authentic place and that you avoid any sort of exaggeration. Like this, you will allow a space and escape for your energy to flow and your anger to be expressed, because Mars needs to be expressed. Mars, our drive, our energy, our anger needs to be expressed. So it is important that it's expressed, because if we don't express it, it accumulates and then it ends up coming out in the all wrong ways, in an exaggerated way, and causing harm to us and to others around us. So it's important to pay attention to that. So very intense times ahead of us, my friends. And soon we will have Jupiter also entering Gemini, and Sun and Venus all entering Gemini. So it will bring out and awaken even more these issues with our knowledge, what we consume, how we share knowledge, how we relate, our beliefs, because it will continue opposing Sagittarius and bringing out these beliefs in order for us to reanalyze, reevaluate them, for us to really rinse them out and try to understand, is this making sense for us? Is this in alignment with our values? Or need this to be transformed and rearranged in some way, or just maybe discarded? Maybe you decided some beliefs are just not in alignment with you, and you will choose to see the world and engage with the world from a different perspective. So this is my forecast for this full moon, my friends. I hope you like it, and I hope you can take something valuable out of this video for your life. I wish you a very happy full moon in Sagittarius. Much love, my friends.